This day has been waiting for you. This day has been awaiting especially for you to embrace you, to guide you. This day has been waiting with open arms, just for you. This is the day we have been given. Let's not waste it. Come now, and let us worship together. And if you can rise in spirit and body as you can, we'll sing number 202, Come Sunday. Follow a creed or a set of beliefs about God or the nature of reality. Instead, we are bound together by an agreement to follow the spirit of love in our daily lives, to serve our community, to dwell together in peace, and to seek the truth in love. This church community has discerned the spirit of love to call us toward care for the vulnerable and marginalized as great prophets have done in the past. We have waved a rainbow flag to signify this place as a sanctuary for any persons who identify as LGBTQIA. We have raised a Black Lives Matter banner to remind ourselves and our community that racism and systems that support racism must transform if we are to become the beloved community. If you come to us with a broken heart, welcome. If you come to us with a searching and restless heart, welcome. If you are a person in search of healing for yourself and our world, welcome. If you feel drawn to this path, or if it describes the path you are already on, we would like to get to know you better. So we have a couple of announcements today. First, printed copies of the December newsletter will be available at coffee hour downstairs after service. Our second announcement, you can order poinsettias for Christmas. The order form will be in today's order of service, but this is a gentle reminder that the deadline for orders will be coming up soon on the 8th of December. Please contact Sarah or Jan Elias if you have any questions. Our third announcement. This week is a multi-generational service, so please remain in the sanctuary. Childcare is offered in the nursery for children who are unable to be in the service. And I believe that may be the final announcements. Are there any others? Thank you, Marcia.
He had a standard classical background. He has since gone on to have a worldwide concert tours. He has played with numerous people such as Abby Lincoln, and he's also an educator. He's teaching his skills in improvisation, jazz improvisation as well. So I'm glad to welcome him today.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Diane Mason. This morning's service is Facing Stigma Through Resilience. Sharon has asked me to read one of my favorite pieces. I bet it's some of yours too. It's the Desiderata by Max Ehrmann. Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible, without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even the dull and ignorant. They have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexations of the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain and bitter. For always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let not this blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself, especially do not feign affection, neither be cynical about love. For in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of the spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune. But do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars, and you have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be, and whatever your labors and aspirations in the noisy confusion of life keep peace with your soul. With all its sham and drudgery and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful, strive to be happy. If you'll join me in reciting the covenant of this church, it's printed in your order of service. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, and to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. And now, if you'll rise and join me to greet your neighbor.
Our reading today is from Winnie the Pooh. I'm going to read two quotes, and as you hear them, please think about what they mean to you. The first one comes from Christopher Robin. You're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. Our second quote comes from Preeflet. The things that make me different are the things that make me me.
see a person with his or her nose pressed against the window, looking outside with longing. He or she is alone, ashamed, frightened, and feels so different from others. Sadness on their face, a tear in the eye. Did you ever feel like an outsider? In the words of the well-regarded social worker Brene Brown, every single one of us is someone else's other. We may feel held back by something that is hard to understand. The question runs through our mind, did I create the walls? Or maybe others held me back, kept me feeling less than others. Or perhaps it's a combination of self and other creating these barriers. I was moved by the wonderful film Shawshank Redemption. This movie examines the pursuit of freedom. In one of the most haunting scenes, the prisoners are released, but it was hard for them to change. They knew no other world than the prison cell. You and I are not the only one to feel like an outsider and to see how difficult it is to transform ourselves. Some days we have a regular obstacle course in front of us, don't we? Why is that universal experience of being an outsider both frightening and promising? Feeling different from others can potentially create shame and fear. Yet the darkness can also be the source of courage and growth, as you know. So I'm not going to try to dodge that conflict today, but let's consider the problem more closely. After all, as Robert Frost stated, the best way out is always through. Maybe your experience of being an outcast was stigma. Irving Goffman, the social scientist, explains that stigma occurs when we possess a condition that makes us feel less than others, and other people make you feel ashamed and inferior. Others can define you only by that thing, having freckles, being overweight, a disability, a mental illness, a divorce, being childless, practicing a certain religion, born of a particular race. Well, the list goes on. And because of that, others see you as less than, not good enough, inferior, and you start to believe it yourself. Some of these conditions are visible, like being in a wheelchair or being overweight. Other conditions can be invisible to the eye. So then it's possible we are burdened by leading a secret double life. Maybe nobody knows the secret about you. Well, being invisible, not having people know the real you, well, it's lonely and it's a forgotten space. No music, no one to reach out to. The familiar desert that keeps us isolated. And the saddest part of all, in our mind's eye, others have so much power and are so much better off than you and I. Why are we giving all that power away? Or why do others take it away? You and I know that freedom means we take responsibility for our own actions, and that is a great thing. We grow from this and become stronger and heal. But change is not easy. There is always something inside us that resists the new. We are drawn to the familiar, and we're afraid to leave what is comfortable. Even if it is us looking inside at our prison, or we are looking at the person at that window who has his or her nose pressed against the window, yearning. In a sense, it is a mirror image of our own conflict. It hits close to home, doesn't it? Well, this struggle between growth and regression is one of the most common experiences of all people, one that we have to recognize over and over again in order to grow. Where does resilience come in? Resilience means you and I recover from loss and injury, stress and challenges. That picture on the cover of our order of service today, the flower growing out of the cracks in the cement, it was deliberately selected today to remind us that growth and perseverance take place in even the most unhospitable places. The pediatrician Thomas Boyce describes this remarkable growth in his work on dandelion children, who can survive almost anywhere. But there are also those kids who are like orchids, with a special high dose of sensitivity, and they need special environments. They might go down hard in bad environments, but they can also thrive when we learn about what nourishes them. Resilience is not a special talent, luck, good fortune, or high intelligence, nor does it mean you got a high dose of really good genes. In that lifelong journey of building strength and resilience, people learn how to improvise, take risks, and reach out to others as they face difficulties. So that climb, that walk, run, stumbling, starting over, getting back up, that movement toward resilience is really our search for freedom of expression. It is definitely not just the fight or struggle of the other, people who are in trouble, or disabled, or different. It's also our fight for freedom. I am convinced and learned the sooner that we recognize that the other person's struggle for resilience and health is also our struggle, we become freer. Visit the lonely or the disenfranchised. Listen to their story, and we always learn something very truthful about ourselves and the world. So how do we build resilience? There's no formula, no 12 steps, no simple answers. Here are 3 ideas to consider. The first idea is that people work on resilience every single day. In a recent NPR interview, the writer of the new memoir, Jakira Diaz, explains in her own words, "It definitely didn't feel like I turned my life around. It felt like I was always, from the very beginning, trying to turn my life around, and it took a lot of people, and a lot of stumbling, and a lot of mistakes, until finally there were fewer mistakes. It wasn't one thing that turned my life around, it was many different things, many different people who saved me again and again. I also suffer from major depression, so every day is a struggle, even though every day is a blessing. I still feel like I could very easily go back to being that person, but I don't." The second idea to think about is that self-compassion, not the inner critic, creates the right soil for growing pains. Sometimes we are our own worst enemy. Self-compassion is not self-indulgence or pampering. Actually, social scientists tell us it will foster strength and self-discipline. Third, put very special glasses on and pay attention to cultural messages. Look carefully before you and I buy into those cultural traps. They could be all wrong. Messages like, "Don't be so sensitive." Well, your sensitivity can be a strength. Many of us are eager to see the new movie about Fred Rogers. The biographer Maxwell King explains that Fred Rogers developed a lifelong pattern of always looking at the big picture and transforming his sensitivity, his difficulties, and sense of otherness into creativity and determination to make the world a better place, particularly for children. Remember to ignore, too, any message that to ask for help is a sign of weakness or a lack of independence. People believe that, and no wonder they don't get help. The real story is that to seek help is a sign of strength. You may be soothed by sharing your story and vulnerability with people you trust. How you and I do that is very different for each one of us, but it can make all the difference. One of my favorite sayings that reminds me of this power of sharing is taken right near my computer. And Leonard Cohen states, "Forget your perfect offering. There's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in." So I connect these ideas about the process of change and resilience to jazz and the music within us, as our wonderful musicians James and Marceline demonstrated over and over for us today. Jazz is an example of being more bold about moving to the new, because jazz is usually hearing something brand new. It encourages us to be spontaneous, experiment, show our colorful feathers, take risks, bend, be flexible, connect to other people through the music that moves us, together transformed, a bold leap into the new, and to be present, to play together, rather than it sounds familiar because it struck a chord deep within us, and it resonates for us. And yet the beauty of it is, you and I feel and experience something totally new with this music as well. All those pieces describe the path toward freedom and our best selves. It's exhilarating and scary. Let's make music. So if you're interested in the ideas shared today during our service, boy, do we have a workshop for you. Next Saturday, December 7th, from 10 to 12 noon, right here in Channing Hall downstairs. The workshop will focus broadly on discussing answers to the question, how do we build resilience within Youngstown and reduce or prevent stigma, resignation, and hopelessness? 9 panelists will offer practical tools from their own experiences, and audience members will be able to ask questions and participate. This is truly a collaborative effort between our church, YSU, and community agencies. The workshop is not just education. We need you there, your input about what we need to build resilience. So we hope you can join us next weekend on Saturday morning, December 7th. As always, light refreshments, coffee, and tea will be served. Thank you. So now if you can rise and body and spirit as you are able and join in number 680, the prayer, we can read that aloud. Because of those who came before, we are inspired by their we believe, because of and inspired of the rise